And speaking of momentum, you know how you have mentioned to us, like, if we're thinking about negative things and we can stop and reach for better feeling thoughts, or we can take a nap.
Well, you have to catch that in the early subtle stages, because once something gets a little momentum, you don't turn the thought very easily. It takes more effort than is really worth. Usually you just make yourself frustrated with yourself and end up giving yourself the label of not being appropriate, and then guilt is the next emotion you feel.
Well, the thing that I'm really curious about is dreams. And, as I've been really catching myself and, experiencing positive momentum and then recognizing when something is going right. So it is easier to stop. But I notice sometimes in dreams, when you talk about like waking up early and, you got a whole fresh start of the day, sometimes my dreams are not so friendly. Like I'll wake up, my heart is beating.
First, we want to say that when you sleep, momentum does subside. And when you awaken, that is your best opportunity to get off on the right vibrational foot. That just is. But even having said that, your dreams are manifestations too. And therefore, just like what manifests in your life is a result of momentum, what manifests in your dream state is a result of momentum. So if you have enough momentum going on something that it's actually manifesting in a dream, then it's valuable for you to acknowledge it, because in knowing what you don't want, you know more clearly what you do want. You see what we're getting at? There's value in using the dream experience in the same way you use real life experience. In fact, there's less resistance in the dream experience because it hasn't manifested yet. It manifested in the dream, but it's not something that is present in other words, if you have a car accident in your dream state, it's a lot easier to get over it than having to repair the car and put your body back together if it happened in your wake state. And so this is the way we would approach our dreams. If you awaken from something that is unsettling, first acknowledge, I must have momentum going about that. And then don't try to figure out what caused the momentum or where the momentum is. Just say, I am now more aware than ever before that I have momentum going in a direction that I really don't mean for it to go. I want to be more deliberate about that. So you might not get off on the best foot that day because that dream is already now active in your experience. Because in your wake state, you're going to like this, as in your wake state, you have thought about it and you've consciously launched, well, I know what I don't want. What is it that I do want? So now it's in your vortex. Now when you meditate, the solution to that will come. In other words, we want to say to you in a way that doesn't seem too simplistic, but really is the way that it is, your vortex fixes everything. The vortex fixes everything. If you don't have something, you want it, the vortex will give it to you. If something's gone wrong, you want it in a different way, the vortex will give it to you. If you've got a problem, the solution is in the vortex. If you've got a question, the answer is in the vortex. The vortex really does fix everything. The vortex meaning your forward-thinking, inner being collection of your life. It was the compilation of all that you were before you came into this body and everything that you've added since. So it's this really precious, really wonderful body of vibration that is real and that your inner being is tending to. So it's the solutions, it's what you want, it's the joy, but it's only in vibrational form. And think about who you are. You came not to just be in vibrational form. If that was your intention, you would have stayed back with your inner being, and you didn't. Your intention is to bring all of this vibration forward. You want to manifest this stuff. This is leading edge, where thoughts turn to things. So you want what's in that vortex to turn to tangible, enjoyable, satisfying experiences, you see. And your inner being wants that for you too. So this dream has helped you to now put it in the vortex, and now your meditation will help you to bring the solution forward into a manifestation where your dream brought the problem forward into manifestation, so to speak.
Yeah.
And sometimes in your dream, you'll dream the solution too.
Actually, our whole town, a whole area within the Northeast is looking for solutions for something. We've had a problem with one concrete developer using some chemicals or some rocks that are now we have crumbling foundations. Our towns, all surrounding towns and cities, our homes that we've spent all our lives building and
Don't
paying
beat that
for.
drum. We get it, but feel
Okay.
the case you're making against yourself as you were explaining the things that are going wrong for you. In justifying a physical solution, you are amplifying the problem in a way that will keep you from any solution.
So that's what I've been wrestling with, because I can sometimes in meditation I get to a point all of a sudden I just know that everything will be taken care of. And I'm...
Do you know how your inner being leads you to solutions?
Don't tell me.
Your inner being leads you to solutions. We already talked about it some here today. Your inner being leads you to solutions through your path of least resistance, which means your inner being soothes you to your answer. Soothes you. Esther's looking for a pen that she believes is lost. So we don't talk to her about her pen. That would terrorize her. Instead, we talk to her about something that she's not worried about, which leads her to what she is wanting. You follow that? So your inner being always soothes you toward the solution. You just now, in the story that you told us, were terrorizing yourself toward the solution. There's this company and it's done bad to us, to all of us, and all of our foundations are crumbling. And then you went on. We worked hard for these houses. You're not soothing yourself, you're terrorizing yourselves. And the terrorizing mode is all right, but it's always step one. And you already terrorized yourself enough that you got a great big solution in your vortex. Now it's time for you to stop terrorizing yourself, because you can't find the solution while you're terrorizing yourself. And this is what most humans don't understand, because you're trying to get somebody else to do something, so you're proving your case. The other day, Esther has been watching something unfolding, and she got a hit on it, and she can kind of tell where it's going. She knows where it's going. She can sense where it's going. And now, even though she doesn't want it to go that way, she almost wants it to go that way so she can be right. You want to think about that, don't you? Sometimes you want so much to be right when you're pitting yourself against another human that you hold yourself apart from what you really do want, because you'd rather be right than have what you want. So when you are working with committees and people and committees, you might want to go to your vortex and call another council. There are so many dead contractors that would like to play with you. There are so many people with solutions that have made their transition that know what to do. There are so many of them that would like to soothe you, because all of your foundations aren't crumbling. There are different situations, but it is not as dire as you're making it out to be. And you can't find the solution as long as you believe that it is. So isn't it tricky? In order to win this law case, in order to be able to get enough clout and enough muster together, in order to get enough people moving with us against this person, we have to shoot ourselves in the foot and keep the solutions apart from us. It's why humans move forward. We love you so much so slowly.
And I have been trying... I have to watch that. Not trying. I have been meditating and trying to relax myself, and I thought I was doing better. Actually, can you tell, am I doing a lot better? Well, I couldn't sleep before, but I'm sleeping now, but I don't know, how close I am. Have I made progress, or am I fooling myself?
But you see, you have just uncovered a really important clue to what's going on, because from what you just said, we all now know that the reason that you're doing the work is in order to affect a result. And it's the happiness along the way that's the only thing that we're interested in. If you can stop doing it to affect a result, because now your eye's on what's wrong and now you're not in the receiving mode. Can you feel what's going on? You've got to accept that to be personally soothed is what you're reaching for. You're looking for a in this moment soothing, not a later down the road slam dunk solution.
Right. I've heard you speak about that before, not focusing on the results, but feeling that emotional, joy, just enjoying the life that I have.
What is it that you think you want? What do you believe is the solution that you are all reaching for? If you could just state it and make it happen like that, what's the solution that you want? What have you all decided when you got together and talked about what went wrong? What do you believe is the solution that you're looking for?
The solution, I mean, and what I try to picture is just my home stable.
What does that mean in terms of what you're going to cause to happen?
There's a freedom associated with that stability, because then I can...
We get that, but what do you think that you're going to accomplish? What's the end result? This contractor's going to come, tear everybody's houses down, and build them back with the right foundation?
That's actually what we've been told.
So how many of you are there?
There are thousands.
Yeah, so it's going to take a little while for that to happen. In other words, that could be really disruptive to your experience.
Yes.
It might be what we might call overkill. It might be looking for a solution without a problem. Or it might be looking so hard for a solution that you got to find a big problem in order to justify the big solution. But we're just trying to sort of shake your thinking up just a little bit and ask you, do you have a problem big enough that justifies all your homes being torn down by someone who can't possibly afford to do it, and then building them back even though they can't possibly afford to do that? You follow us? No. So what is it that you want to happen?
I really would like my home to be stable. And
Yes.
then when my home is stable, then I have some...
So what has your mind told you that will require?
Actually, I was hoping, our younger minds that are just so creative are going to figure out an easy solution so that we don't have to rip down to build. But maybe there's some type of a treatment that could happen where the chemicals or the rock or whatever it is counterbalanced and things become solid instead of crumbling. And I know that, our children and, all of the ones coming forward are so brilliant. And I'm just thinking that maybe someone will have an easy solution.
So are you saying to us that this group that's gathering is reaching into the vortex for brilliant new solvers, or is the group that's gathered going after the person that caused the crumbling foundations to begin with?
No, I'm actually looking for the solution.
But what's the group doing? Or are you not part of a group? Is it just a group
No,
of you?
I've stayed away from being part of the group because they get in there with, I've been to some committee meetings, but I go with the openness to just beam out like unconditional love so a solution could be found rather than having people lock like that. I try to bring in some of the light so that maybe the creative solution will happen when more people get together.
The answer to this important question is often not an answer that humans want to hear or are ready to hear. But this is always the answer. All contrast has value. All contrast produces desire, and all desires can be satisfied. But the whole point of deliberate creation is that you have to find that balance between the contrast that produces the desire and your focus, which causes you to align with the desire. That's what attraction is. It's one thing to identify a problem, and while you're identifying a problem, you're actually in the mode of attracting more of the problem. But as you're in the mode of attracting more of the problem, you're also in the mode of asking for a stronger solution. And as you ask for a stronger solution, the evolution is happening. Life is getting better, and the solution is viable and can come to you. But the thing that is important, and it's what we talk about all day, every day, is you got to find some way of becoming solution-oriented rather than problem-oriented, and that's what this discussion is all about. So, of course, there are all kinds of solutions that could come, and sometimes the solution really is this home will come down and another one will be erected. In other words, but that's happening all the time anyway. We like this day a lot. We liked what happened energetically. We liked the translation into your own mind that you accomplished. It just doesn't get any better than this. It really is co-creating at its best. Have so much fun. There is great love here for you. And as always, we remain joyously in your vortex. Nice day. I liked it too.